How is everybody? If you're not here, please raise your hand. My name is Patrick Osere. I work for Genesis. We are two moderators today. I'll be one of your moderators. And my role is very, very simple. To welcome you to Genesis. That's what I'm trying to speak, somebody's calling. Welcome you to Genesis to discuss a very important topic. AI project management. And I was thinking, what is project management? And we have experts here that will be telling you about this, but I was thinking about it in a very simple manner. So there are three stages in our lives. The first stage is when you're born, and that you have no control over. You don't know whether you're going to be born in Nyanza, in Central, in East Coast, in Uganda, in US. You have no control over where you're going to be born. So there's no project management there when you're born. The second stage in our life is a very important stage, the choice of partner. Irrespective of your orientation, the choice of a partner. That's a very important stage because that's your control over. The third stage is when you move on to the next generation. When you move on, when you pass away. That you have no control over unless you decide to commit suicide. So the second stage that you have control over is the choice of a partner. Just imagine those people who are planning a wedding. It has many moving parts. All the parts that you want so that on the D-Day you have an event. That's a serious project management. Imagine if you have children. You have a child that wants to go to class 1. That's a whole project management. You have everything ready for that child to go to class 1. Everything that you do, whether you want to buy a car, you want to buy a bicycle, a motorbike, you must, in your head, it may not be written, but you have a huge spreadsheet that you have in your head of all the parts that are going to come together to be able to deliver all that. So even the complexities of project management and the technology that's available now, we brought you two leading experts to try and dissect and initiate a conversation or support a conversation in this interface, which is complex, new, changing. I was watching TV yesterday, and I love fast cars in terms of watching. They are watching how the cars are racing and stuff like that. As a passion from childhood, I used to sit on Jogo Road and just watch cars pass. Wow! And I used to enjoy that. I'm still enjoying it now. And I learned yesterday that in car racing, you can actually use AI. And that there's a test that was done this past week to look at between AI and car racing and a human being and car racing, which is better. And the two were competing each other, the best driver on earth and AI, and there was a split 1 second for them to cross the finish line. 1 second. And this is a technology that is still changing. So the world is changing so rapidly, many things happening, but they want to hear from experts. In this project management that is so complicated, what does it do? And can you shed light with us? Each of the experts introduce themselves because they are thinking about some of these things already.
Thank you so much, Patrick. Good evening, everybody. I hope you're having a good time, and we are basically going to have a conversation so that we can dissect the topic as he has mentioned. So my name is Tevez. I'm a project management expert, and I'm also a founder of a company called Kilele Craft Limited. And Kilele, I named it Kilele because Kilele means summit. So what I'm basically trying to do is to introduce project management in our country, in Africa, and take it all the way to the summit, because it is an area that is still underexplored and it cuts across all business sectors. So I hope we're going to have a good time together, and we're going to converse and learn from each other at the end of this. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you. Good evening, guys. It's really nice to see you all in the room. I don't have a fancy picture. I hope my face does the job. My name is Fatuma Adan. I'm trying to think of words to describe or explain me, because I really want to fully capture the aspect of project management and AI. I am a manager with Deloitte. I'm an enterprise technology and performance manager with Deloitte. I'm also the VP of communication for PMI Kenyan chapter. I'm a mother of 4. Why do I say all my 3 titles that I proudly hold? Because I feel it's an encompass of who I am. Technology is very key for me. My career journey is one of technology and digital transformation, and you will see it from my portfolios and as we discussed today as well. I've pretty much started in technology, in software development and delivery, leading and managing software projects. I've had a bit of experience in cloud technology, big data and machine learning just before AI came in. I've also been very fortunate and privileged to lead portfolios of AI, particularly generative AI and AR/VR. Last year, particularly when Gen AI was really leading and hitting literally as we were managing projects, it was a competition. You had to quickly jump to the app and product that was the next big thing. And that shows you the constant change in the technology landscape, and AI is no different. Similarly, I'm a passionate project manager. I'm not only a member of PMI Kenya and PMI Global, but I'm also a volunteer and sit on the PMI Kenya board. And this is because of my passion for project management, my passion for good delivery, not only of projects, but also of empowering our young youth and our Kenyans just to really learn the skill set and the body of knowledge of project management. So really excited to engage with you and interact with you today. We will discuss and talk more as we have our engaging session here. To you.
Thank you. Andrew will take over again.
Hi all. I hope so far you are having fun. Just started. So, how many people here are first timers, if I may ask? Show of hands. First timers. Okay. How many people have been here? Well, previous events, we've had a couple of them. For the veterans in the house. Yeah, so we still have some people who are trickling in, but we are going to get started. Our speakers will have a chance to at least share some insights about what they want to empower us about, and what has brought us here today. The space we are sharing here is because we want to know how to better understand project management and how we can integrate it with AI. Because AI is now a part of our lives. It's a transformative force that honestly we cannot ignore, cannot go unnoticed. So we have to find a way of making it merge with our lives. I mean, project management is, everything is a project, right? as Dr. Patrick said, a wedding, it's a project. And even in our workplace, you will find that we will be able to, well, the spreadsheets and the documents you're always going through, that's still a project. How can we make it be better, right? Now, just a small story I'd like to share before I hand over. The other day, I was reading an article, right? I was online and I bumped into this story that it's an analysis actually. It's about how some organizations have believed and they are 100% sure, they predict that in 2030, that 80% of our project management tasks, all the discipline around project management, they will all be scrapped off because AI will replace this traditional project management disciplines, right? So, of course, you panic. I'm like, okay, I'm in project management, I'm practicing, this is my job, I'm going to lose my job. So this, what I'm trying to say is perspective. So AI can take away your job, right? If there's someone out there who would say that and would panic, be like, okay, what will I do? What will I tell my family? How will I provide? Do I need to go back to school? And there's this other person who'll be like, okay, I can easily lose my job if they decide to go this way. How can I make this work for me? So this is one of the reasons why we chose this title, Project Management in the Age of AI. That we should not, the fact that you're here, the fact that you're all seated here, we want to be able to know how to integrate AI in our specific projects, right? I'm sure we're not here because, well, I saw there's an event online, let me just come. I'm sure, right? The event is here for a reason, right? Clap your hands if that's true. Okay, yeah, so that is one of the reasons we're here. So I urge you all to open your minds, open your ears, and embrace the knowledge that will be fed here today, okay? And after this, at least I'm 100% sure that everyone will come out of here with something. No.
Thank you so much. Just speaking from her story that she just told us about AI and our jobs in the next 6 or 7 years. The same statistics by Forbes also says that in the next 6 to 7 years, IT will generate more than 90 million jobs. And out of that, 25 million of those jobs are project management jobs. So it's a thin line between what AI is doing in project management field. Yes, it will replace some tasks, but then in the process, it's also creating some jobs. So as we're going to do the session, I would like us to think of a way in which you can fit in that intersection between AI replacing some tasks and AI also creating some jobs in project management field. And as Dr. Patrick also said earlier, project management cuts across literally everything we do is a project of some sort, and any job that we do in any sector also has some bit of project management. So I think we're going to jump into the slides, a very quick discussion, and then my colleague will also do the same. And then we're going to interact with you. So take notes. If you have any questions, feel free. We will be able to share our experiences as well in that line. Let's go to the next slide. So whenever you think about artificial intelligence, AI, you don't be standing where I can stand? Yeah, I think we can interact more when I'm standing. When you think about AI, most of the time, people imagine things. If you like watching YouTube videos, somebody just went to the street and was asking, what is AI? And people are giving very funny answers what AI is. Some are calling it some computer somewhere in the US. Some are calling it some machines that are already doing some tasks in some countries and are being imported in very weird stuff. But AI is just a simulation of human intelligence. So you have experts in IT field, like being able to mimic some actions that humans have been doing, but they're able to program a machine or a software to do that job automatically. And AI has already been in use for a long time. How many of you have Google Maps on your phones? Almost everybody. And then sometime when you're driving or you want to use it, there's also a lady speaking to you in the background. It's a very nice voice. Turn left, turn right, do this, do that. That's part of AI. So AI has been there. It has been integrated in our lives. But in the last few years, there's been a very huge acceleration on AI integration in what we do. So AI comes in, you can think about it or look at it from 3 different angles as machine learning, NLP, and robotics. All these are applicable in different sectors. If you are in manufacturing, if you are in IT, if you are in construction, there are various aspects of AI that you can apply or you can use to make your process more efficient in your work. And according to PMI as well, up to 80% of companies use AI of some sort. They may not be using AI in their whole process, but 1 or 2 aspects of their processes actually involve the use of AI. So what are some of the key AI tech in project management? As I mentioned earlier, project management cuts across any field you're in. Whether you're in sales, marketing, climate change, health, any field you can think about requires some sort of project management. And the predictive analysis, natural language processing, and machine learning algorithms are some of the AI tech that are currently existing. But we're not going to limit them to the 3 because AI is constantly changing. Technology never stops. So currently you are at 3 that we're able to share today, but there is more coming all the time, continuously. So if you look at predictive analysis, it's a technology that can be used to, let me give you an example. If you have companies that do risk analysis, or want to project how the transport sector is going to behave in the next 5 or 6 years, they use data to process that. And then they're able to predict and model this. Maybe they want to develop the transport system, maybe in the engineering field. You'll find such companies just studying the data that has been existing before and then giving it maybe 5 or 10 years. How will the road behave? We have an expressway here, for example. In the next 10 years, it won't be the same experience as it is today because there'll be more cars, there'll be different cars, there'll be electric cars, for example. So things will change. So predictive analysis can be used to know how will the expressway behave in the next even 15 years. Will you need to expand it? And the government can take that opportunity to really start planning on how to maybe do another expressway or do another highway. Natural language processing includes things like chatbots and virtual assistants. If you go to any website, then you see the moment you open the link to the website, something pops up, sometimes on the bottom right corner, some chat, maybe messages on WhatsApp directly, or send us an email or subscribe. Those are some of the examples of chatbots, and chatbots are made through natural language processing. And then MLA can also be used to do resource allocation. So big multinational companies apply MLA to predict how their resources are being used in various parts of the world because, let me give you an example. If you're a CEO of a company that has, let's say, 100,000 employees, and these employees are maybe in 190 countries, it is almost impossible for you to know, what is the office space in Nairobi in another 100 countries, how many employees in each country. And in terms of growth, how can the company grow in the next 5 or 10 years? As the CEO, it will be difficult if you want to go through this, using the human process. So you can use MLA to input your data of how the company operates over the last 10 or 20 years and predict how resources have been used before. And when you analyze the current political environment and financial environment, you are able to model how your business grows, the countries you want to expand to, and even products that you want to put in the market. Next. So you may be asking yourself, why AI in project management? Now, if you link this to the fact that everything we do, even this event, the way it was organized, that now we are having it at this time. There was a team in the background that did the planning for this to happen today. That's part of project management. And AI will help us in terms of increasing the efficiency of how we do things. Example, there are nowadays AIs where you don't need to schedule, go to Google Calendar and create an event. There are AI tools that you can use, just tell it to book for you an event for a certain day, to do it, and then it will remind you. And then another AI tool that will also help you take notes during the meeting as well. So efficiency is something that helps us in streamlining workflows. And if you can streamline your workflows, as a business, you're able to save in terms of your resources, in terms of being more productive. Another benefit of AI in project management is increased accuracy. When you have data that can be analyzed by machines or by computers, the way you program them, you're able to get more precise estimates in what you do. You could be in the health sector. You could also be in the construction sector or any sector you can think about. When you have a lot of data that needs to be analyzed, AI can help you to eliminate so many errors that, in other words, human beings would make. And then lastly, AI also helps in productive risk management. If you're able to track your risks, you're able to do an analysis in real time and be able to take corrective actions in any field that you're working in or in any business. An example of that would be a company that is in the business world that needs to do financial analysis every year and report every quarter or every month. You'll find that there are always risks in the financial sector. When the dollar changes, I believe, you felt the pain. So I can tell you that the companies that before the dollar changes, probably they will know even a month earlier or even 2 weeks earlier. Not because they influence the change, but they're able to study the market and they're able to apply AI to read the trends and even suggest if this dollar rate change in the next 2 weeks, what's going to happen in their overall costs? What's going to happen in the operational cost? What's going to happen in how they are expanding in the business world? Next slide. So what if you know the benefits of AI in project management, and I want you to remember what I said earlier. Whenever I say project management, just replace that word with whichever field you are in, because you're doing a project of some sort at all times. So how can you future-proof your project with AI? Number one, you have to adapt a phased approach. And the meaning of that is, it's not easy to change a company or a business in a month or in 3 months by introducing AI. You'll have to first know what your company does or your business. You'll have to know what AI tools can be useful to your business and know which ones you can start with. There's always something, you're going to see the next slide, resistance to change. When you bring change, change is very difficult to handle because change scares people. And one of the biggest changes now in the world is the AI. AI is literally changing the world. So many people are scared, but so many people are also getting, those who have been working in the AI field with developing softwares, they're getting more excited because business is going to boom, because AI is going to overtake almost every aspect of business. So you have to adopt a phased approach where you start with what works for you and your business, and then you can analyze and see what you can add or remove. Once you do that, you need to invest in training, because these AI tools require you to train your people on how you use them. And maybe to raise a point on that is, somebody may be asking themselves that, well, I'm not in technology, I don't know how to code, I never did computer science in the university or anything. There's something called no-code AI, where people have developed software that can enable you to actually code a program without writing codes. Anybody having an idea about that? Have you heard about it?
Yeah.
Yes, so even developing websites, somebody may be thinking that, yes, I'm a website developer, but then this company called Hostinger. If you know Hostinger, they host websites. They have an AI tool that you can use to just describe what you want your website to look like in a paragraph. Then you let it run and build the entire website for you. And your work will just be to edit and do your SEO for it. So those are just some, few examples that you may be thinking, how do we get to, use AI if I don't have a background in computer science? It doesn't really matter, because even myself, I don't have a background in computer science. I don't know how to code, but I have been learning how to use AI and integrated project management, because the line is just too thin for you to leave one of them out. So once you invest in your training for your staff and of course for yourself, if you sometimes it could be a one-man business or a one-woman business, you can also still do the same with free tutorials online on Udemy and YouTube. There's so many academies, and even where we are today, Regenesis, there's so many courses that you can take on AI, and you can be trained, both you as yourself and also as your business, to know which types of AI tools you can use that are relevant to your field. And then you can also partner with experts in this. And there are so many experts, companies that do such trainings, and there are also trainers who help you, who can come into your business and help you implement AI tools that are relevant to your business. And then of course, you have to stay up to date. As I mentioned earlier, AI is always changing. What we know today, even by December, you'll find that I think ChatGPT version 4 just came like a month or so ago. So if you're using version 3, there's a new version already. And the guys behind ChatGPT are now working on version 5. So it will always change, all the time, consistently. And then there's nothing good that ever comes with risks. Anything you do, even in business, the bigger risk you take, you can gain or you can lose big. So AI also has some risks that you must be aware of as you take it up in your business or in your professional life. The skills gap and change resistance to change is something that I think is like the biggest blocker currently to the growth of AI, because of misunderstanding of what AI is. So because someone doesn't know about it, it's difficult for them to adopt it in their lives. For example, if you ask somebody maybe tomorrow that I can set up your phone in a way that it will help you make calls without you having to dial those calls. Someone who is young can understand, but there's someone who is old, 60s, 70s, they'll think that you are tricking them with something. You just have to do something funny, even if it can help them. So there's that bit. And then there's the cost of AI. Of course, it doesn't come for free. There are some that are free, but then over 90% of them, there's some bit of investment that you must do, especially if you're going to do it as a business, there's a cost involved. So that's something you have to be alive to, even when choosing the tool, which one matches to your business and which one is more relevant to what you do. So that you don't have to overspend in investing in several softwares which can do the same thing. And then over-reliance on AI, especially on decision making. Earlier I mentioned predictive analysis. If you have data that you can use to get some results, if this is over-relied on, again, you may end up having, maybe your team not really brainstorming, but that is a long-term effect that may happen. Of course, if you're not responsible how AI is used in your business or even in your life. For example, you've heard of this, I think it is reported mostly in the US and in the UK, but I think it just came to Kenya as well. In JPOT in early this year, they found that over 80% of students are doing their assignments using AI. So if they're supposed to go and do a report, someone just gets ChatGPT, put in the information, and they print it out, they take it to the lecturer. So nobody has really done any assignment. That is a big, big problem in first world countries. So there's over-reliance, which can also be a big problem as you use AI. Then loss of some jobs, of course. And one of the jobs that is at the highest risk is project assistance, because if you have an AI that can do for you scheduling, as the project manager, can do for you, minutes from the meetings, can send emails, can schedule your calendar, and or do all those things. There's a very high chance that project assistance jobs, are going to be redundant at some point. But the point we said earlier is that don't forget that the AI cannot set up itself. It needs someone to program it to do what it does. So if you have skills in AI, there's no way you're going to be irrelevant, even if project assistant jobs are going to be eliminated, because you will be the person behind setting up the project assistant softwares for various companies. So it's both a loss and a gain. And then finally, there are ethical issues, because AI will just make decisions based on data. So sometimes you need to consider culture of a place or of a certain society of some people, but AI doesn't really, it's a machine in short, so there's no feelings behind it. So that can sometimes cause some grievances when AI is applied without considering like people's culture and preferences. Some big companies that have taken up AI and are using, I've only put the three because there are several many other companies, but these are names that I believe you've had them, so you can relate, and maybe even if you didn't know that they're using AI, they have been using it, but just three out of there's so many companies who are doing this. So currently, if you're applying for a job at Unilever, they have an AI tool, or even not Unilever, so many companies, because if you go to LinkedIn and maybe you're looking for a job, you find that that job has like 100,000 applicants and nobody really wants to go through all that. So they have AI tools that can help them sift those candidates and have the fine-tune what they need. Then PwC uses Twitter to do risk management, and Project Co is also using it to improve their productivity in their company. So I'll hand it over to Fatuma to also pick it up from there. But I hope that what we are getting from the presentation is that AI has both advantages and disadvantages, but if you position yourself in the right space, you will always be a winner at the age of AI. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you. I think you've kind of set the standard, so I have now to stand. Let me pick a position, I can see the screen. I'm also learning. It was quite an engaging and exciting presentation. I've picked up a couple. As somebody who's worked in the AI, some made me feel like, okay. But it was really exciting, and I'll dive in. You might find my presentation maybe looking similar, because again, same topic, but different perspective. He spoke about AI and project management in his perspective, and I'm hoping to shed more light in my perspective, having worked both in tech and as a project manager. We'll go on to the next slide. So we will look at a quick introduction, role of AI in project management, the statistics of current use of AI in project management. I just wanted to share with you what the industry currently is predicting. Key project management skills that align with AI. I believe we are all project managers, and we are trying to see how we don't make ourselves be declared redundant or obsolete in this time. And then finally, I believe we will also look at some AI tools for project managers that you can leverage in your day-to-day jobs. So I'm going to let us marinate this for a minute. Our future success hinges on our ability to embrace AI and use it for good. The last speaker just mentioned the ethical aspects of AI, and he rightfully put it. AI is just machine learning. It's artificial intelligence, meaning that it's systems that are trained by a human being. So what does that mean? It means if the person training the particular machine is biased, the learning will be biased. If that person is racist, the learning will be racist. If that person is misinformed, the learning is misinformed. And that's why most of the time if you check ChatGPT, and why I vouch for people to use ChatGPT for their assignments, including my kids, is you still have to use your brain to validate the data. You cannot just trust. Why? ChatGPT is an NLP it was just fed content from everywhere in the internet. Garbage and validated information. So in as much as you might rely on the content and the things that are coming from ChatGPT, you still have to use your brain to validate. Is it making sense? Is it biased or something, right? Because I might ask ChatGPT, what do you think about a certain topic that is currently trending? ChatGPT will only tell me what it finds in the internet. It will not really tell me the reality. I might ask, how much did Ruto pay for the plane going to the States, right? It might tell me what he said, which was 10 million, I believe. But you see, I don't know if that's true. So basically what I'm saying is, let's leverage AI, but we need to still use our brain. So we need to use AI for good. And that's why there's a lot of emphasis on ethical AI. We need to ensure that the people who are building these learnings do it in an ethical manner. We need to ensure there's human in the loop. We call it human in the loop because humans have to validate some of those data that go into AI. Yeah. So similarly, I don't think AI will replace anybody's job. Again, being in tech, working with AI, and as a project manager, why I get excited with AI is because I feel it empowers me to do more. If redundant or manual tasks are taken away from me, it leaves me to do more creative things. It leaves me to focus on the things that are important. It makes me a less stressful, less overwhelmed project manager, right? Imagine you're the one to create PPTs, slide decks. You have the content, but you also have to make it look pretty, right? As he mentioned, we have so many generative AI tools that currently you can leverage. With the power of generative AI, I just need to feed it content, even tell it I want graph. ChatGPT 4 that just came out recently. With ChatGPT 3, previously you would not be able to get graph. You could not copy paste your data analytics for it to help you with some analysis. But with ChatGPT 4 you can do that. So if you're not paying, go get the paid version. So those are some of the things you can just start doing. He said, don't do it in chunks. Start step by step. So you can adopt with simple things. Start using ChatGPT, leverage it. It itself can tell you all the right AI tools that can help you with the respective tasks that you might have. If we go on to the next slide. So the world of project manager is rapidly evolving, and so is AI, right? So as project managers, how do we ensure we do not remain redundant or made obsolete by technology? One thing I always say is leverage learning. Ensure you are always keeping yourself up to date with the latest technology and the latest information and practices in both project management as well as how you can leverage technology. What that will do is it will make you the preferred candidate because you are adapting to the change in technology and in the industry, and it will ensure that you are not made obsolete or redundant. So we will try and look at AI tools that we can leverage to enhance our project success. Next slide. So what are some of the roles of AI in project management? And I'd like to share my perspective. Task and reporting automation. As a project manager, what do? We plan, we monitor and control, and we end and close the project, right? I've said it in simpler words, but we know with planning, a lot of things need to go into that. With monitoring and control, there's a lot of repetitive tasks that can be made very simple with systems, right? Similarly with even project closer. The retrospective aspect, you would want a system to tell you, this is how the trends have been, this is how we've conducted this project, and if I have another project in the future, I would want it to guide me and say, last year you had a similar project, this is how you ran it, these are the statistics, these are the lesson learned, these are the resource requirements, this is the budget estimates you can use so that it's even easier for you for planning, right? So we can leverage AI for task and reporting automation. Resource planning, one of the biggest challenges in project management. Right now it's very easy. Most companies have started using technology. And now with the introduction of AI, they are integrating AI or a component of AI in their solution to ensure that the system can intelligently manage their resources. Number one, it can tell me who's available, who's utilized. It can tell me what I need, the decisions I need to make to ensure I have proper staffing for my project, right? So project monitoring and resource allocation and prioritization. If I have an AI system that is tracking all of my projects, I am able to tell where should I prioritize particular resources with particular risk for important projects, right? And that will help me in decision making to know which resource should go to which project. As project managers, this will become a very good skill set for you, particularly if you're going to organizations where they are project-based. They run multiple projects. So for such organization, resource allocation and prioritization is very key. I need to know who's staffed. I need to know my staffing and forecasting for the next couple of months. So that number one, I can also plan for my resourcing. If I see in the near future we will not have projects, what does that mean? It means that there's a team that needs to start getting projects, right? So you will see, as he mentioned, predictive analytics becomes very critical, as well as just pure data analytics. See the current status, the forecast, and predict for me how our resource allocation and prioritization looks like. Project costing and estimation and budgeting. We are able to leverage AI to do this in a couple of ways. I've spoken about learning. Retrospectives are very important. If I'm able to see from similar past projects, I'm able to even estimately tell what the cost will be and budget for such projects. Similarly, by just feeding the resourcing, the scope, AI in itself is able to generate the costing if it knows the unit price and all that, right? So why do it manual? I know as project managers we have to do that. Get an Excel maybe, this resource for this number of days, this is the rate, this is how long it will take. So why? There are so many AI tools, and we'll look at them later on, that can really help with this. Predictive analysis and risk management. As a project manager, we know the two most important components are communication and risk management. For project success, you need to communicate well, and most of the time you're communicating about those very same risks. And you need to manage those risks well, and your stakeholders, right? So AI is now able to help us with that. How? Through learning again. That's the beautiful thing about AI, it's just learning. As human beings, we are not able to take in a lot, but as systems, it's able to learn from historical data. If you feed it industry data, if you give it additional information, it will learn and it will be able to tell you, these are some of the things you do not have in mind that you should consider as risk and plan for. And guess what? It can even recommend some mitigation plans, right? So why do you want to start from scratch? Why not try adopting some of those tools and make your work a little bit easier? I would like to take some time on this slide and just have you take in some of this perspective. It is predicted by PMI Annual Global Survey that 21% of project management, or rather 21% of the respondents, say they are using AI always or often in their project management. And again, I'll tell you the easiest task, like he mentioned, scheduling project assistant duties, quick fix, right? And most of the time they're being used by the same project assistants. There's nobody who will replace them. Now their life is a little bit easier. So what can they do? They can take that time to learn controlling, help the project manager to empower and get more skills, right? So we don't fight technology, we embrace it and leverage it, right? 91% of the respondents of an unpublished PMI customer experience surveys believe AI will have at least a moderate impact on the profession. That is the PM profession. 82% of senior leaders say AI will have at least some impact on how projects are run at their organization over the next 5 years. I'll tell you, as a person who works for a technology company, they are really thinking fast ahead. They're seeing how can we leverage AI to ensure efficiencies even for our employees. So that if I was managing one project, they're thinking how can we make her work easier so that she can take 10. What does that mean for them? It means more profit because they're leveraging one resource to do more. Okay. So embrace technology and AI because it's there to empower businesses to be efficient. 52% of respondents of the same unpublished PMI customer experience surveys believe AI will have a major or transformative impact. AI is no longer the change, the quick change. You know, before technologies was used just to replicate what somebody used to do. Right now, it's no longer replicating what somebody was doing. It's learning from what people are doing, and now it's able now to have a mind of its own, right? So that's the difference between AI and technology. Whereas technology is just replacing what we were doing, AI is now able to take over and even have a mind of its own and guide us. So let's leverage it. Yeah, I think you guys have marinated on these statistics. Can go to the next slide. So as project management, you know we have two brains. We have our soft skill brain, where we need to be very mindful of how we handle communications, emotional intelligence to manage our teams and our clients, adaptability to change and how we can conform and get used to that. And then we have our technical mind, where we need to now get into the details of the project, the quality and risk management, the deep and machine learning. This is if you are in a technology field, and some of the tools of use, even currently, for those who are in non-tech projects, and this could be construction projects or NGO projects, you still have tools, right, that you use to run those projects. You will probably have a tool that does your project planning and creates the Gantt chart. You'll have a tool that tracks activity and reminds you, gives you communication about the status of those activities. So we have that technical mindset for all project managers, whichever field of project you're running. So similarly, we are able to leverage AI for all these activities. In terms of soft skills, critical and creative thinking, we have those NLP. Ask it a question. If other people are using it to do their assignment, why are you not asking it some really thought-provoking questions to find out, is my project going to fail? Simple things. And then you go on and go on. It's called the power of learning. What do they call it? You need to learn how to prompt it. It's called the prompt. The more you master the art of correct prompt, the cleaner and more relevant your AI responses will be. So start playing around that. Adaptability to change. AI can really help us. How? Learning. If you go on YouTube right now, there are so many AI tools, products that can help you learn a lot of things. There was a project I was doing, and we had a need for designers. But guess what? There's currently an AI tool that can create videos, that can create graphics. If right now you go on some AI tools, you are even able to tell it, I want a Nigerian lady, she's working in a restaurant, she orders this food, she's in this kind of setting, please create the image or create the video for me. And with that prompt, as long as your prompt is very good, what will it do? It'll give you exactly an image of a Nigerian lady. You can even give her a name, and it will bring with that name in the same context. She's in a restaurant, she's seated, maybe having a meal. As long as that's what you told it, I want a Nigerian lady in a restaurant having a meal, right? So then the art of learning prompts. So adaptability to change. AI can really help us learn some of these tools. We don't really need to learn everything, but with the right uses and the right AI tools, we can learn. Emotional intelligence, we can leverage AI for this as well. Similarly, for our technical skills, like he said, not everybody needs to be a coder, but you just need to learn the art of using apps. I have, so again, how we can use AI not only for work, for our personal lives as well. I use a Zing app. So if you don't know Zing, go check it out. I'm sure you know there's so many gym apps or things like that. But this Zing app is able to learn my body composition. It's able to know what sort of workout I'm supposed to do. So even if I'm busy, maybe I can't go to the gym, or I'm going to the gym, it gives me the machine I should use, how I should use those machines, has even videos, guides me, able to record my performance, and even improve for future. So it will be able to say, Fatuma, you did this this week, so progressively you should be moving in this pace. So again, AI, simple, practical ways of using AI, but now imagine if you leverage it for your day-to-day work as well. Some of us are, if you're leveraging, you probably are using an AI app. It's just that maybe you don't know. And even the similar apps that we use for our work are as simple as those AI apps on your phone. The only thing you need to know is which apps are relevant for which sort of activity and exercise. If you go on to the next slide. AI tools for project management. So this is the one we want, right? As project managers, what can I use? So planning and resource management. Predictive analytics, I've mentioned, is great for this. It's able to prioritize your resourcing. It's able to even give you prediction and forecast for you how your resource staffing will be. Plan.ai is one solution you can consider. I hope they'll share the slides. You can go practice. Project execution and monitoring. So automating the regular task, real-time tracking. Asana is very good with this. Trello, Microsoft Power BI, again, you've had it. These are being leveraged even by big companies and multinationals. Simple things. Asana and Trello have a free version. Go play around it. If you see the value in the free version, and trust me, the good thing with software as a service these days, it's affordable. Even you can pay the subscription fee for yourself. It's an investment. Imagine investing in efficiency. Trust me, you'll save so much time that you'll not feel the pinch of that cost. So I would recommend trying them out. Communication and collaboration. So smart platform. A lot of companies have started using Slack, Teams. So smart collaborative platforms that even has virtual assistants, that has even workflow builders. So some Slack have workflow builders integrated to it. So what does that do? With messaging, it's able to give you reminders, set workflows of those activities and tasks. So explore some of those. Knowledge management and learning. I always say an AI knowledge base and a recommendation engine is the first point of contact. So those NLPs, please leverage them. We have Gemini with Google, we have ChatGPT, the different versions. Go check them out. Next slide. And sorry for abruptly saying thank you. But that's my cue to say it's an interactive session. We are here and open to take any questions from you.
Thank you very much, Steve and Fatuma, for very enlightening presentations. I know that many of you here are also involved in various aspects of AI. You never know what young people are doing. Some of you might be better experts than some of us. And so this is just an opportunity to share your perspectives, ask any questions, and just engage because this is a sector that's transforming, an area that's transforming so fast and transforming our lives. And we also want to hear from you, the audience that have taken time to be with us today. But I'm going to put someone on the spot. Valentine Wairimu. She is doing AI as well, and just want to hear why she decided to do what she's doing and what is that she's learning and what does she plan to do with it.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Valentine. I'm taking a course on AI. Why I chose to do AI is because it's really interesting. You get to see how our brain, because it's the AI that gets information from our brain, from what we give the AI, is what it gives us back. So I was reading and I get to a place where it says AI everywhere. That means everywhere, in every institution, we need AI. Like for instance, in a hospital, we have machines that can do a whole surgery without the doctor there. And when you check the percentage of error, it's none. So at that point, we are like, yes, we need AI. It's not going to take our job. You go to video games. You have somebody in a different continent, in Kenya, and you're able to interact with them. So it gives us a whole dimension where we can interact with everybody, anybody, because it makes us one. In which part you are, we are one. When you go to sports, like we have games, they can predict this team from the way it has been participating, it's going to win or it's going to lose. So it means AI, because we have cars that can drive on their own, and they're able to see collision, they can even change your route from where you're driving. So it means the AI is making our work easier, but we also don't have to be lazy. We also have to find ways to keep ourselves busy. When it comes to health, like AI is really interesting. From my perspective, I would say yes to the AI. We need it because our world is growing. We are growing as a country, as a nation, worldwide. We need AI. We can say like, it's nice when you have to study AI. So if you're here and you're not taking AI classes, you need to, because it will give you a whole dimension. It will make you see what you're capable of. AI does not limit you from your brain, from your thoughts. Through the AI, you're able to have it's a whole, you have a lot of information, you have a lot of places, it's a whole dimension that each and every one of us should be able to encounter. Because I was going through a case of a company that needs to drill oil. And the AI is able to do the feasibility study for you. It's able to go to that location. It can analyze the soil. It can analyze how deep you need to drill. So it takes away the whole time where we need people to go there, come back, give you information. We have, so through that, AI is a yes. And I would advise anybody who is not taking it, and for you being here, thank you. So I would say thank you, and I'm honored to be here.
Thank you very much. So Valentine is not taking the Genesis course, so she's not selling the Genesis course. She's taking an IBM course somewhere else. We also have an AI course, so I don't think that she was paid to say that what she just said. Thank you very much, Valentine, for those comments. Any other perspectives from the audience?
Thank you. My name is Shadrach. Thank you for this session. So I would like to say, this is my opinion from what I've listened to people who are deeply in AI. For instance, Elon Musk was saying that with the AI, operations gonna increase production and it will reach somewhere whereby we have to have governments paying people a certain amount of money, because definitely AI will increase production. And the aspect of AI replacing jobs is a topic people don't want to talk about, but I'll give an example of nuclear weapons. Countries have nuclear weapons, but we have agencies which control nuclear weapons because today a crazy president can just wake up and deploy nuclear weapons to another country, but we have the nuclear proliferation treaty. So as much as we talk about AI, we also need policies that regulate AI because I'm foreseeing a situation whereby some of the people directing this AI could have bias or some mental issues. So there's also careers and also like people who could do maybe law and policy regulations so that we can have policies about what can we use in AI. For instance, in a country like Kenya, whereby we are still developing and we have, what do I say? We have not reached a certain percentage whereby many people are in jobs. But I have seen some companies whereby you find that maybe you have in a data department you had like 20 employees and now you have softwares that are dealing with data analysis there is a certain tool that I was introduced to that is able to analyze data whereby you just input your spreadsheet and it can analyze the data and it can do a job that can be done by 5 people. Definitely, I won't say that it won't replace people. Sometimes, at some point, the employer will reach somewhere and say that I don't need to have 5 people whereby one person can do these jobs. So what we say is developing countries, we need to come with policies that we adopt AI at not like full scale, so that we don't like have a massive job loss for our population, because ethically that is an issue that can come because our economy is capitalistic and companies can deploy AI at full scale and we can have low-skilled workers rendered jobless.
Thank you. Any other perspectives?
Good evening. I'm Kon Shaban and I'm a QS by profession. I'd just like to maybe bring up 2 aspects I've come across on the issue of the AI. And rather controversial, but I'll just mention it. One is there's a meme that has been circulating over the last 2 weeks or so, was whether we should be worried, rather scared, of the increase in artificial intelligence or the decline in actual human intelligence. If I was to explain that, is with the increase in artificial intelligence, it's expected that the human intelligence will be, there'll be a decline. Why should I think so much when there's some software somewhere that can just do the task that I need to do? Then the other one was the issue of job creation and job losses. It was what the advocates of the AI are saying is that AI will not take away our jobs, but it will take away the jobs of those who don't want to use AI. Okay, maybe we can just shed light on that also. Then the third one is the issue of the general human security by the use of the AIs. Because as we know, AI is all about machines. Machines don't have emotions. The world currently is a global village. If you were to deploy, let's say, the use of a nuclear weapon, I would say the only thing that stops the superpowers from using that is the human intelligence. When it's a machine, someone somewhere presses a button, that is it. But when we involve a human, there'll be moments of thinking about it. So maybe, even as we advocate for AI, what are the measures that we are looking at as both as project managers and as the technological people in general to safeguard the human life when it comes to AI?
Thank you. So, a couple of questions that have been asked. Perhaps I'll give you back the opportunity to respond to those before I do a close.
Thank you. I think your questions are similar around ethical AI and AI taking our jobs. You just rightfully said the meme that has been trending that says with increase of use of AI, we are seeing human intelligence going down, right? Similarly, losing your job, AI is not going to take the jobs of the ones who are not lazy. But AI is for sure going to take the jobs of those who are lazy. What do I mean? If you have ChatGPT right now, and what you can do is copy whatever ChatGPT gives you and give it to your employer, chances are you will be fired, right? But for those of us who will leverage technology, use it to do your research, further analyze, use your perspective, your brain, challenge whatever AI is giving you. Like I said, it is not 100%. This is artificial intelligence. We'll still need human in the loop to verify those data. AI will not take your job. Similarly, like you said, for business analysis, I'll use that example. You have a team of 5 doing data analytics. Now you have an analytics solution. I no longer need a team of 5 to do my Excel analysis. I can use one person. But guess what? You will need a database administrator. You will need application managers. So similarly what he said, yes, 4 jobs will go away, but another 4 will be created because systems don't work alone and in silos. They need to be run and manned by human beings, right? So that is why you need to up your game. Now, as he mentioned, more jobs will be created in the tech space. You need to learn how to be a database administrator, maybe analytics. You have to pivot to where the jobs are. And that is why the process of continuous learning is important. AI will not get rid of those who are continuously learning, but it will definitely get rid of those who remain lazy, right? In terms of ethical AI, this is something that everybody is cognizant of. For people and companies who are doing, we call it the learning aspects of AI. Ethical AI is very critical for those organizations, and they try and make sure that the people building the intelligence, or rather the data used to build those intelligence, are validated by multiple people. You mentioned that you fear that if our country adopts AI, we'll lose jobs. If I told you right now, Tesla was initially, the intelligence in Tesla was initially created here by more than 2,000 employees, right? Would you believe me? Before Elon Musk moved his operation to states, it was run here in Kenya, right? By organizations that are now doing outsourcing BPO work and creating that machine learning. There's a lot of AI work done here, unfortunately not for local companies. They are for global companies, but they're giving us those job opportunities. We have companies like Walmart who have big data and really need intelligence of those data so that they can even know their customers' preference and things like that. They ship that work to us so that our people can build the intelligence. Machine learning is not done by 1 or 2 people, it's done by a room of massive manpower. So those are job creation just to build intelligence of that machine. It's not true sentences that build intelligence. When we say machine learning, what did I start with? I said big data. It is massive data that as humans we cannot comprehend, dissect and take it in. But if we have manpower that can feed it into a machine, that machine can learn. She mentioned about the robotics that can do surgery. Do you know for an AI to have intelligence of medicine, what happened? They were fed with a lot of cases, medical cases, consideration, options. Even I'm not a doctor, but guess who did those? It was probably doctors. So a job was created for doctors to create the intelligence, and not just one, multiple, so that that machine can have the different perspectives, right? So the fear of job loss will always be there, but guys, you have to open your eyes for the potential and possibilities. And in terms of ethical AI, this is something that is really being considered by all organizations in AI. even Kenya currently right now is considering policies and acts to regulate the use of AI, as well as companies who are running some of those BPOs in AI. Because like you said, those are things that were there in the past when we created those policies, but they're here now. So how do we incorporate some of those policies and regulate these particular operations? I don't know if you want to add anything.
I think you've done justice to the questions, and maybe just two additions. When I started, I mentioned something to do with change, and change has both positives and negatives. So the issue of policy is something that at this moment we can't say that it is defined that this is 100% good or 100% bad, but it is a conversation that will always continue, because the companies that develop AI, they are constantly changing, they're constantly updating, they're constantly trying to make it better. But then we also can't assume that there are people who have evil intentions behind it. There are people who don't use AI for good. And that is the nature of human beings. We are not 100% good all the time or 100% bad. So the policy aspect, it's an ongoing conversation, Shadrach, and it will continue. Even in the next 20 years, we'll still be discussing about policies around AI. I think other questions, she did a good job to answer them.
Most of those organizations, trust me, they have a really strict policy and even data protection, because imagine to develop the AI intelligence, it's massive data, some personal information, right? So they really adhere and they are regulated by bodies to ensure that they're doing not only justice to your personal data or even data that they have and they're using, but also ensure the ethical aspects of AI. So, yeah.
Thank you so much. Eliki, you wanted to say something?
Good evening. My name is Eliki from Digital Regenesis. So as you can see in front of your seats, we have QR codes for the feedback. You can scan them and then you can fill as per how it has been made. Thank you so much.
What are they feeling? What is it?
It's just a feedback for the feedback for the event.
Oh yes, he's saying that feedback be in front of your the next chair ahead of you. There's a code that you can scan to give us feedback what you thought of this session. We're just about to close, but I'll ask my namesake Patrick to say something.
Thank you.
All right. I want you guys to look at that board right there. It says our clientele. If you look at those companies, what do they have in common? All of them are very big companies. Let's pick one. Let's pick Coca-Cola. What does Coca-Cola do? They make drinks. You know the kind of water they make? It's called Dasani. What is Dasani? Dasani is nothing but pipe water that is filtered. So I'm going to ask the people in this room, do you want to go to college, run AI, and go to filter tap water? Those are not the jobs we want. So I want to challenge everybody in this room. When you say that AI is going to make people lose jobs, that's a very good thing. Because I don't want you to think that you're going to go to school to go look for a job. I'm going to challenge everybody here to go to school and think of how they can create their own jobs. Everybody in this room and the young generation, you guys are the best time of your life. Because you know why? You are realizing all those companies, they're just looking for your brains. Then they come and employ you. And they take the money everywhere. So why would you let them do that? You use your brains, then they use your body and they take money, they kill. Why don't you just create your own job and keep the money here? And you don't have to report to them. You know who the first AI was? Why your parents. How many people, when you are young, you went to talk to your mother, and they tell you, I know why you're here. Even before you say anything. Because they know you, they've been watching you. That's what the AI is. The AI watches all the actions you do, so they know what you're gonna say next. I've had this thing these days. Nakuonea kwa mbali. Is that true? Because someone has been studying you, so when you come to them, like this, they know exactly what you want. That's AI 101. So all you have to do, apply the same thing. Hiyo kitu, instead of kuona hiyo mtu, ona it and use it. So I'm not going to talk about AI. I'm challenging you people. When him and I went to school, we didn't have these opportunities. We went to school so that you can get a job. You people should be going to school so that you can create something. Thank you very much.
What did you say is running several companies and is creating many jobs. So that's why what he wants you to be like him, creating jobs for Kenyans and creating jobs for Americans. So
just so you know, that company called Walmart, I'm here to correct. Sorry.
Probably I should have introduced myself. But look, as my name, my daughter is here. I've been in the US for over 30 years. I am here today because Walmart has given me an opportunity to take products that you guys make and go sell them there. I have come, she's onboarding 5 companies as we speak. I'm here to get the next 50. So instead of you being used, I want you to make something that we can sell to Walmart. Thank you.
you're itching to say something.
Yeah, I just wanted to add something on what Patrick said in terms of creating opportunities. Currently, if you go online and maybe you're looking for a graphic designer, you may not find someone who is really skilled in graphic design, but you may find someone who has learned how to use a software called Canva, because Canva can help you make very nice graphic designs. And an example of the slides that we've been using here, like my slide, I didn't have to look for someone to design it, I'm a designer, but I used Canva to make it. So if you think in that aspect, there are website design agencies which are businesses that young people can start, be building websites for other clients, even if you don't know how to code, because you have these AI tools that can do that for you. Graphic design, website design, and even people who are in the fashion industry. They talked about a tool that can help you create an image of whichever description that you're looking for. And guys in marketing, there's a tool called Midjourney. It's an AI tool. You can even ask it to describe this room. If you can describe this room perfectly with colors and number of people and everything and speakers and stage and TV, give it like a minute, you'll have that image. So there are companies that used to go out there and hire people to design for them the massive posters and pay hundreds of thousands. Nowadays, there are AI tools that you can give that description. It will give you the initial draft, but as she mentioned earlier, you now just do your human input to make it perfect. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So I'm a medical doctor, and during my training, our professors used to tell us that during their time, it was not easy to do a pregnancy test. It took a doctor to let a lady know whether she was pregnant or not. And of course, now you don't need to go to any hospital to do a pregnancy test, but you don't say that medicine there's no need for a doctor. Recently, there was a Singapore airline that had a severe turbulence. The sector that uses AI the most, and I've been using it for almost 30 years, is the airline sector. That's why it's the safest sector. But you never heard that there will never be a pilot. You never heard that there will never be an engineer. You never heard that there will never be a flight attendant. Yeah, so despite years of automation, planes can land by themselves. It always needs a pilot because something will happen that requires a human being. When that Singapore flight was going down, it's not AI that stopped it. It's a human being, the pilot that is able to stop it and make it go up again. And down the second time, the pilot stopped it. And that's why it landed safely. So it reaches a stage where the human being is supreme. Whatever machine you ever develop, there will be no replacement for human being. I think I was in India 5 months ago, and we were having a conversation about AI, generative AI, and someone said there's a whole new area in India they're creating, which Fatuma talked about. What kind of questions do you need to ask the machine to give you the answer that you want? Talk about the Nigerian example. There's so many questions. If you don't know the right question, you'll get the wrong answer. So you need the right questions. So there's a whole school that's being established to teach people how to ask the right questions. These are new jobs that are being created that didn't exist before. So I don't think that you get worried about losing jobs. It's just constantly train yourself. In medicine, I was telling my son when he was 16 that I want him to be a doctor. He told me that I can't be a doctor. I said, why? I said, it's the only profession that I know that when the economy is bad, people are so sick, people are so stressed, you have a lot of jobs. You'll never lose a job because people are sick. When the economy is good, people are drinking, people are happy, people are going out, there's so many accidents. You will always have a job. It's the only sector that you will always have a job. It tells me, but there's something you don't told me. For you to start making money with medicine, you start making money at the age of 40. I can't make that money. I want to get into technology. I start making money in my 20s. And so, the challenge that Patrick gave you is that you have an opportunity to do a lot of innovation, create jobs, constantly learn, constantly forget about looking at TikTok. You're wasting time. Look at issues that you're constantly building yourself and improving yourself and be able to be with it. If I look at what young people are doing now, my God, the opportunities are immense. If you talk about transport, when I was a kid, I used to carry my bag to go to school, walk 2 kilometers, or to go to high school, carry my box, go to the road and wait for hours for a bus. Now a motorbike takes you there in a few minutes, you've gone wherever you want. But it has led to another problem, serious accidents. If you go to Kisi district, the county hospital, of the 8 wards that they have there, half of them are motorcycle accidents. So it's created problems. For every advancement that we have, we also have problems. That's why regulation is so important. And ICT regulation is always sometimes behind the curve because the technology moves faster than legislation. Legislation, you have to write it, you have to go debate it, you have to have public participation, and you have to enact it, and then people go to court, and then you have to go back. So there's always a challenge. The regulation is behind. But I don't think we should question. I don't think that we should try to stop technological advancement. Kenya is a country that if you look before independence, there was an airlift for people to go and study and transform the country. We have so much going on in this country. When President Ruto and Uhuru became president and deputy president the first time when they wanted to give laptop to a child, that would have been a massive transformation, but maybe it was too early. But now at the CBC, they talk about providing laptops to 22 million children. Basically, the CBC is digital transformation. How to become a digital savannah? The only way is for us to embrace how we're going to use it ethically to be able to transform our lives. For us as Regenesis, we've come into this country from South Africa. Our university has been there for over 30 years. It's the largest business school. South Africa, the schools, 10 businesses that are part of Regenesis. But what I want to talk about the digital one. This digital Regenesis is the one that is engaged with Tevez, for example, to train on AI. And we engage with the Ministry of Health to look at how AI can be used in the health sector and accelerate the transformation going on in the health sector, financial services, agricultural sector, across many sectors to be able to support the transformation that's going on. We have corporate education. We're training a lot of businesses. NCBA, for example, they say that they have 3,000 employees, 2,000 in Kenya, 1,000 outside Kenya. They have allocated 50 hours per student, per employee to learn about whatever they want to learn. Many of them are interested in digital. So there's a lot of transformation going on in our society. And this is what's going to make Kenya a unique country. Because if you go to Rwanda, they come to Kenya to get stuff. If you go to Tanzania, they come to Kenya to get our stuff. We have a company another talent that is recruiting people from Africa to the West to Africa, all over. Many of our students are being recruited to go to work wherever they want to go. If they want to work in Kenya, they want to work overseas, many, many opportunities. And therefore, let's look at the future and see where do you yourself fit in it. Are you defining it? Are you a follower? Are you an entrepreneur? We have a school of entrepreneurship. This is something the government wants that every constituency should have an entrepreneurship hub. Every ward to have an ICT hub. The kind of thinking and policies that we have at the top to be able to implement what's going on. And we saw the president went to US and got so much resources. There's a whole meeting starting on the 4th in Korea to talk about how to support Africa and how to support Kenya. So much is going on. What are you doing to be at the top? What are you doing to be in the middle? Please don't be at the bottom. Thank you very much. Thank you for coming. I want to thank our facilitators. Thank you so much for this very stimulating conversation in a very, very important area. Please give us feedback on what you think. You have some bites there before you go home. Please don't leave it because we don't know what to do with it if you don't eat it. Network is an opportunity to bring everybody to just get to know each other. The power of success is to get to know who else is working and what you're doing, who is doing what. Just mingle. This is why we took this location, which is central for people to come, and it's a networking opportunity. We'll be doing a lot of mentoring in some of these areas that we talked about, but that's a plan that we're developing in conversation with the private sector, with government, with NGOs, with counties, to see how we can help and be part of the transformation of this country. Thank you very much, and we look forward to you coming to the next sessions and also getting to know you better. Thank you.